He said, this is an endless hole. And people get it confused with what I call the devil's hole.
What if I told you that the most mysterious hole in America might actually be hiding something that could change everything we know about physics?
Another mystery buried deep in the hills of eastern Washington keeps resurfacing, a bottomless pit said to be a pathway to the paranormal.
Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the rabbit hole that is Mel's Hole, and its mind-blowing discoveries nobody saw coming, possible by AI analysis.
When did you discover this hole?
Well, the hole has always been there. We've been out there for a couple of years now, and the hole has been there since we've been there. It's been there since the previous owner was there, and the previous owner there was quite elderly.
The legend that started it all. Let's rewind to February 21st, 1997. It's the middle of the night. You're listening to Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell, when suddenly a caller identifying himself as Mel Waters drops a bombshell that would become one of America's most enduring mysteries. Mel claimed he owned property 9 miles west of Ellensburg, Washington, and on that property sat something absolutely incredible, a hole that seemed to have no bottom. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another crazy radio caller, right? But here's where it gets fascinating. Mel didn't just claim this hole was deep. He said he'd lowered 80,000 feet of fishing line into it and never hit bottom. To put that into perspective, that's over 15 miles straight down. The deepest part of the ocean? Only about 7 miles. Commercial airplanes fly at around 6 miles high. This hole, according to Mel, went deeper than anything on Earth. But the depth wasn't even the weirdest part. Mel described supernatural properties that would make Stephen King jealous. He claimed neighbors had thrown dead animals into the hole, only to see them wandering around alive days later. Radio signals couldn't penetrate it. Ice lowered into the hole wouldn't melt, even in summer heat. The story spread like wildfire through the paranormal community. Forums exploded with theories. Was it a portal to another dimension? A government black site? An entrance to Hollow Earth? Here's the kicker, though. When investigators tried to track down this mysterious Mel Waters, they hit a dead end. No property records, no tax documents, no trace of him anywhere in Kittitas County. It was as if the man himself was as mysterious as his alleged hole. The scientific impossibility. Before we discuss the recent AI revelations, we need to talk about why scientists have always called Mel's Hole complete nonsense. And honestly, from a geological standpoint, they make some pretty solid points. Dr. Jack Powell, a respected Washington state geologist, has been debunking this story for decades. He'll tell you straight up, a hole that deep is geologically impossible in that region. The bedrock composition, the water table, the structural integrity, none of it adds up. Think about it logically. At 80,000 feet deep, you'd hit the Earth's mantle. We're talking temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Any hole that deep would either collapse on itself or become a volcanic vent, spewing molten rock. The physics just doesn't work. Plus, the supposed location sits on Manistash Ridge, an area that's been pretty thoroughly surveyed for decades. No mysterious holes, no government conspiracies, just regular Washington state wilderness. But here's what's interesting. Despite all the scientific debunking, the legend refuses to die. In fact, it's gotten stronger over the years. TV shows have featured it. Books have been written about it. There's even been art exhibitions inspired by it. Why does a story that geologists say is impossible continue to captivate people? Maybe because in our age of satellite imagery and Google Earth, the idea that something this mysterious could still exist feels almost magical. The AI, a game-changing twist. Now, here's where our story takes a wild turn into the realm of speculation and what-if scenarios that have been buzzing around online forums lately. Some online theorists have been asking fascinating questions. What if an AI system was tasked with analyzing every piece of data related to Mel's Hole? What if machine learning algorithms were fed decades of coast-to-coast AM, transcripts, geological surveys, witness testimonies, and satellite imagery of the region? The speculation gets even more interesting when you consider what AI has already accomplished in other fields. These systems have discovered new antibiotics, predicted protein structures, and even found hidden patterns in historical data that humans missed for centuries. Now, before we go any further, let me be crystal clear. I'm not claiming any government agency or tech company has actually done this analysis. What I'm exploring is the fascinating what-if scenario that's been making rounds in online communities. The kind of speculation that makes for great late-night discussions among mystery enthusiasts. The theoretical discoveries. Time to explore the realm of pure speculation and discuss what kinds of discoveries might theoretically emerge if an advanced AI system were to analyze the Mel's Hole mystery. Picture this scenario. An AI trained on geological data, satellite imagery, and historical records gets fed everything about Mel's Hole. Instead of dismissing it outright like human scientists, it approaches the problem with cold, logical analysis. The first theoretical discovery? The AI might have identified subtle patterns in the landscape that suggest underground cavern systems, not necessarily a bottomless pit, but complex cave networks that could create unusual acoustic properties or geological anomalies. Here's where it gets really interesting from a speculative standpoint. What if the AI identified electromagnetic anomalies in the region? Not supernatural forces, but natural geological phenomena that could interfere with radio equipment, create strange echoes, or produce other effects that witnesses attributed to supernatural causes. Some theorists suggest the AI might have cross-referenced the location with military records, discovering classified test sites or research facilities that could explain some of the more unusual claims. Again, pure speculation, but the kind that gets people talking. The most fascinating theoretical discovery. The AI might have identified a pattern of similar stories from around the world, other bottomless holes, with supernatural properties that all share common geographical or geological features. Maybe Mel's Hole isn't unique, but part of a global phenomenon nobody had connected before. Of course, the most likely scenario is that an AI would simply confirm what geologists have been saying all along, that Mel's Hole, as described, is physically impossible. But even that conclusion might come with interesting insights about why the human mind is so drawn to these mysterious stories. The cultural phenomenon. What's absolutely real and verifiable is how Mel's Hole has become a cultural phenomenon that reveals something fascinating about human psychology and our relationship with mystery. The story has inspired everything from horror novels to art installations. In 2023, an art gallery in Seattle created an entire exhibition around the Mel's Hole legend. There's even a beer named after it, which honestly seems like the most Pacific Northwest response possible to a local legend. But beyond the pop culture references, Mel's Hole represents something deeper. In our hyper-connected, over-surveilled world, the idea that genuine mysteries still exist provides a kind of psychological comfort. It suggests that despite all our technology and knowledge, there are still unknown corners of the world. The legend also taps into very primal human fears and fascinations. The concept of a bottomless pit appears in cultures worldwide, from Greek mythology's Tartarus to various religious descriptions of hell. There's something deeply unsettling and compelling about the idea of an opening in the earth that leads to nothing. What's particularly interesting is how the story has evolved in the internet age. Online forums have added new layers to the legend, with people claiming to have found similar holes, sharing blurry photos, and creating elaborate theories about what these phenomena might represent. The rise of AI and machine learning has given these discussions a new angle. People genuinely wonder if our increasingly sophisticated technology might be able to solve old mysteries in ways we never imagined possible. The modern mystery hunters. Today's mystery enthusiasts aren't content to just listen to radio shows and speculate. They're using modern technology to investigate urban legends in ways that would have amazed Art Bell's audience back in 1997. Armed with drone cameras, ground-penetrating radar, and sophisticated metal detectors, amateur investigators have combed through the alleged location of Mel's Hole. YouTube channels dedicated to mystery hunting have explored the Manastash Ridge area extensively, documenting their searches with high-definition video. What have they found? Well, nothing that matches Mel's original description, but they have discovered some interesting natural phenomena: caves, sinkholes, and geological formations that could potentially inspire stories like Mel's Hole. The search efforts have also revealed just how difficult it would be to hide a genuine mystery in the modern world. Between satellite imagery, GPS tracking, and social media, keeping a secret location secret has become nearly impossible. But here's what's fascinating. The inability to find physical evidence hasn't dampened enthusiasm for the story. If anything, it's added another layer to the mystery. Now people speculate that maybe the hole was covered up, or exists in a parallel dimension, or was a temporary phenomenon. The modern approach to mystery hunting also raises interesting questions about the role AI might play in these investigations. Could machine learning algorithms analyze hours of drone footage more efficiently than human investigators? Could they spot patterns or anomalies that human eyes might miss? The truth behind the legend. So what's the real truth about Mel's Hole? Well, let's separate fact from fiction and rumor from reality. The facts are pretty straightforward. In February 1997, a man calling himself Mel Waters appeared on Coast to Coast AM and described a mysterious bottomless hole on his property near Ellensburg, Washington. Later investigation revealed no such person was listed as residing in that area, and no credible evidence has been given that the hole ever existed. Geologists have consistently stated that such a hole is impossible given the region's geology. No physical evidence has ever been found despite numerous searches. The story appears to be either an elaborate hoax or a piece of creative fiction that took on a life of its own. But here's what's equally true. The story has had a genuine impact on popular culture and has sparked interesting conversations about mystery, belief, and the role of technology in investigating the unknown. The recent online speculation about AI analysis of Mel's Hole data represents a new chapter in how we approach urban legends. People are genuinely curious about whether artificial intelligence might offer new perspectives on old mysteries, even ones that are likely fictional. This curiosity is more about exploring how advanced technology might change the way we investigate and understand stories that capture the human imagination. In a way, the AI speculation has become part of the legend itself, another layer in an already complex mythology that has been evolving for over 25 years. Lessons from the depths. What can we learn from the enduring appeal of Mel's Hole, whether or not any AI has actually analyzed it? First, the story demonstrates the power of compelling narrative. Mel Waters, whoever he really was, crafted a tale that hit all the right psychological buttons. It was mysterious but specific, impossible but detailed, local but universal in its appeal. Second, it shows how technology changes, but doesn't eliminate our fascination with the unknown. Each generation brings new tools to investigate old mysteries, but somehow the mysteries persist and evolve. Third, it reveals something important about the human need for wonder. In a world that often feels completely mapped and explained, stories like Mel's Hole provide a space for imagination and speculation. The AI angle adds another dimension to this. As artificial intelligence becomes more prevalent in our lives, We're naturally curious about what these systems might reveal about the world around us. Could they solve mysteries that have puzzled humans for generations? Could they find patterns we've missed? Even if no AI has actually been turned loose on the Mel's Hole data, the speculation about what such an analysis might reveal tells us something about our hopes and fears regarding artificial intelligence. We want these systems to be powerful enough to solve our biggest puzzles, but we also want some mysteries to remain unsolved. In some ways, AI itself is becoming the new frontier of mystery. We're creating systems whose inner workings we don't fully comprehend, whose decisions we can't always explain, and whose capabilities continue to surprise us. Maybe the next great mystery won't be about a hole in the ground, but about what goes on inside the neural networks we've created. Maybe future mystery hunters will be trying to understand not what lies beneath the Earth, but what lies within the artificial minds we've brought into being. The hole that wasn't there. So here we are at the end of our journey into one of America's most persistent urban legends. We've explored the original story, examined the scientific objections, speculated about potential AI analysis, and considered what it all means for our relationship with mystery and technology. The truth is, Mel's Hole probably never existed as described. No AI has likely conducted any groundbreaking analysis of it. The whole thing was probably just a great piece of radio entertainment that got out of hand. But in another sense, Mel's Hole is absolutely real. It exists in our collective imagination as a symbol of mystery, wonder, and the possibility that reality might be stranger than we know. It represents our desire to believe in magic, our fascination with the unknown, and our hope that some secrets remain unsolved. The speculation about AI analysis, whether real or imagined, shows how each generation brings its own tools and perspectives to old mysteries. Our grandparents might have wondered what space-age technology would reveal about mysterious phenomena. We wonder what artificial intelligence might discover. Future generations will probably bring their own advanced technologies to bear on the enduring mysteries of human experience. They'll have tools we can't imagine and perspectives we can't anticipate. But they'll still be human, which means they'll still be drawn to stories about mysterious holes in the ground, impossible phenomena, and the tantalizing possibility that the world holds secrets we haven't discovered yet. In the end, maybe that's the real discovery that any AI analysis would reveal. Not that Mel's Hole exists or doesn't exist, but that humans need mysteries. We need stories that make us wonder, that make us question, that remind us that despite all our knowledge and technology, there's still room for magic in the world. Whether that magic exists in a hole in the ground in Washington state, in the neural networks of artificial intelligence, or simply in our eternal human capacity to dream about what might be possible, well, that's a mystery worth preserving. So there you have it. The wild, winding story of Mel's Hole and the fascinating speculation about what AI analysis might reveal about one of America's most enduring mysteries. From a mysterious radio call in 1997 to discussions about artificial intelligence, this legend continues to evolve and captivate us. Whether you're a true believer, a skeptical scientist, or somewhere in between, Mel's Hole reminds us that mystery and wonder still have a place in our hyper-connected world. And maybe that's the most important discovery of all. Would you want AI to solve every mystery, or are some secrets worth keeping? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.